We're 2 hours into trading on Tuesday, July 27th. Let's take a look at the stock pick from yesterday. Let's take a look at the market. You can see how it's breaking down a little bit. I'll get into market analysis more in just a second. ZM was my pick of the day yesterday. Video came out about in here. You can see how the stock did rally up through the course of the day, but this was a very reluctant buy that I gave yesterday. In fact, I was really hard pressed to find anything that I liked. We've got the FOMC statement tomorrow. That means trading today is probably going to be pretty light, choppy, not a lot of direction. Massive earnings announcements after the close today. I'm going to go into Option Stalker. We'll take a look at pre-earnings options. You can get lots of statistics here. You can see what the expected move is, what the average move is, and how many times that stock has exceeded the expected move over the course of the last 3 years. So for those of you who trade options, TLRY, you can see that it barely ever exceeds that expected range. So could be a good candidate for selling option premium into the number. I don't trade into earnings releases, but I do have all the statistics gathered for those who do. You can see Apple, Starbucks, AMD, McDonald's, Microsoft, Google, all announcing after the close today or before the open tomorrow. So really, really busy schedule. So let's take a look at the market, see what we've got going on here. Now, I did post this in the chat room probably about 25 minutes ago, and I had mentioned to everyone here is the likely setup for today. Context, context, context. So you have to take a look at what the current move is doing relative to the overall market. And I'm going to put this up so you can see it. And there's your timestamp. About a half an hour ago, this is what I had mentioned to everyone. We're in a wide channel. It tells me the bid is still pretty strong. Buyers need to give up, and then we could see a selling climax. If the bid remains super strong, the downward channel will transition into a sideways range for an hour, and then we'll go higher. But this is what we've been looking for. So we want to see this downward sloping channel with a selling climax. And you can see how we are through the lower end of that trading channel. And this is exactly what we're looking for on that bearish 1OP cross. So once we come in and establish that low for the day, I think there's a good chance that the market will bounce. And what we'll be looking for specifically, you can see there's a resting point right there. Click alert, double click on that candle right there. That should be a support level. Also, we have the high right in here, would also be a support level. So I'm going to drop these alerts. And now I have two alerts. This is where I would expect the market to come down to. And once it finds support, I'm looking for a bullish hammer on a 5-minute basis or a bullish engulfing candle where, let me find a bullish engulfing candle like this. You come down, and then you get one of these long red candles off of the low down in here. I'll also be looking for that 1OP indicator to come down and give me a bullish cross. When I have a bullish cross on this 1OP indicator and I have a technical confirmation on a bullish candle, bullish hammer, bullish engulf, then I'll know that it's time to come in and buy. But for right now, you can see most of the big candles are on the downside. But you'll also see these green mixed candles in between. This is what tells you the bid is still strong. This is a low quality market decline. Sell off a little bit, rally. Sell off a little bit, rally. And notice how this low is barely lower than that low. Here we just muddle around for a long time, try and get going, and then finally we move to the downside. So low quality, downward sloping channel that's likely to end in a selling climax. So that'll be a good buying opportunity that's setting up. It's 2 hours into trading, so I'm imagining this runs its course probably in the next half an hour or so because we do have that breakdown. So let's take a look and see what we've got as far as stocks that we might want to buy. I'm going to go into A daily search, we'll look at heavy buying. There is a stock that I like today. There are a couple of them. Now, realize everything could possibly have earnings coming up because we're going to hit the climax of earnings season in the next few days here. If I go down through the list, I'm going to see which stocks have just announced. This is an announcement before the open. RTX making higher lows. Go into the daily chart. And you can see nice downward sloping trend line broken to the upside above the 50-day moving average. RTX looks good. Now I'm only looking for day trades right now. McDonald's also looks good to me. You can see how the stock has broken through this horizontal resistance. Long green candles closing on their high. I don't like this overlap a whole lot, but that's okay. It's not a huge negative sign. And you can see how the stock is higher today, but it is backed off of the high. Well, you would expect that with the market selling off. So let's put up the 5-minute chart, see how the stock is reacting relative to the market. You can see we do have a double top here, but the stock has been able to hold up pretty well during this decline right in here. And now you can see market's been down all day. McDonald's is actually still holding the bid. It's holding that resistance level, which is support right now. I like McDonald's. I think McDonald's will move higher when the market is ready to also move higher. So it's got nice relative strength. I'm going to go into another chart, take a look at J&J. That's pretty nice right in here. Go into the daily chart, see what's going on there. And you can see how the stock is trying to get through this horizontal resistance, tails under body. That's also pretty good. So we've got this stock wanting to move higher. Johnson & Johnson also looks pretty decent to me. I'm going to continue to look down, see if there's anything else I like. And I'm going to make my pick of the day here. And right now, kind of leaning RTX because it's announced earnings. We've got a nice gap up here, opens on its low, currently trading on its high, downward sloping trend line, violated to the upside. It doesn't move a lot. It's a nice steady grinder, but you're not going to see an explosive move higher. So we'll go into that 5-minute chart one more time. And when the market is able to establish that low, this is the type of stock that I would want to be buying. And I'm going to draw that downward sloping trend line right here. Excuse me, downward sloping alert line. And once I have that set, then I'll be able to get an alert when it's broken to the upside, and I'll know that it's time to buy the stock. I'd be looking for the stock to be able to easily move through that 89.40 level with some market strength. I'm not going to be hanging out to make a bunch of money on it. Again, this is just a day trade that I like from the long side. Mainly watch for a selling climax in here. I've given you the pattern, downward sloping channel. There's your upper end of the channel. There's your lower end of the channel. That climax is coming right now as we break through the lower end of that channel. Then I'm going to be looking for a big drop that turns into a bullish hammer. That would be one really positive candle I'll be looking for. And then a green candle after that, or just a big, massive, bullish engulfing candle. Either one of those two formations I will be looking at. That's all I've got for you today. Trade well. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.